back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends. We back again. We back again. I'm bouncing up before they count to 10. We back again. We back again. Tell your mother, brother, sister, and your friends.
We are back with an exciting match for you guys today. Match 1 and 2 has already finished, and it was both dominating for those who were victors. But now we're talking about the victors for game number 3 against SMG, and we're the ones to deliver the story. My name is Donut, and with me is Tash Money. SMG and Victress, they're no strangers to each other. What do you think will happen today, Tash?
I'm expecting a game 3. I just told you this before it started. I'm going to say it again. I am expecting game number 3. Just because SMG, fresh new outlook on how they play, very hungry to make it up on top. We know right now Bren Victress is on number 2. And I think for a lot of situations for this, for SMG, is that they would make it maybe 3 and 4, but they want to come closer. They want to climb higher. And with the change in how they play, we're going to be seeing a very good one. Last night itself, Bren Victress managed to bring AECL all the way to game number 3, so I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the same today.
Yeah, definitely. And even when it comes down to SMG and Bren Victress, they've gone against each other. Even in Open 4, they've already gone head-to-head. So this is maybe a rematch for both of the teams because, again, as I mentioned, this is the lower brackets, and whoever is pushed out of the way will definitely be going against another team. So I think tomorrow is all set, at least for AE Celeste. They're very comfortable sitting at the very top, but this time it's all about who will win and who will push forward and who will be pushed out of the way. And Team SMG, they won't really go down without a fight, given that Kohaibi and the rest of the team members are very consistent, as we saw earlier in their match against Sovereign. And looking at, I know that you're a big fan of Envious when it comes to her plays, her Omen plays, which whatever agent that she will be using, you are rooting for her. But again, in terms of rooting for the rest of the team members, we also the capability of Fixkey, of K-Prodity, Kohaibi, and Yuki delivering that consistency even throughout the progression of their performance in the rest of the opens. But when it comes to Bren Victress, what can you tell us about them?
Bren Victress is a team that I feel like they really thrive when they play together, when they play numbers. We've seen some pretty insane plays, especially from Shirazi, Ali, even Zinni. And this team, Bren Victress, they also come from a long time peer in the VCT Game Changers. They're basically a VCT Game Changer household name at this point. Last night as well, I mean, we saw them taking up AECL, and this is honestly like one of the most surprising things. We're seeing these big teams have matches so early as opposed to before that we're just like, okay, it's already feeling like Christmas because this is like technically a pre-grand finals. I mean, technically, yeah. And because of how competitive Bren Victress is, they're a team that I suddenly am enthralled for. When you look at AECL back then, I think a lot of us are like, oh yeah, AECL has this in the back. It's going to be absolutely dominating. But the fact that they still brought them all the way to game number 3 in a way that even, I was looking at the chat on YouTube, even the fans were like, please make a comeback. So it just shows how close that match was.
Bren Victress also went ahead against AECL in the finals in one of the Open. So it just really goes to show that they're clearly a top tier team for game changers. And now they're going against SMG. I think I won't really loosely say that they have had a little bit of complacency in the recent games. They haven't been performing. They have been losing some maps before. I think there was an interview from Zinni that they showed that the caster mentioned that they have been one of the teams that progress, and we've seen the improvements from them. And when it comes down again to the map selection, SMG will select Fracture yet again because we saw how good they were in this map
Oh
against Sovereign.
man.
But Bren Victress, you know what they wanted to place in terms of their cards? They want to place their best bet. Split is their map of choice.
Okay, so for Split, this is a very interesting one because from current trends that I've seen from VCT, SGMY, even APAC, is how a lot of teams successfully play Split now, even on attack, is that every round is attack round, and this goes for defense. Which team manages to hold out mid will be the winners. So we've seen how SMG likes to play every round as aggressive one, especially on Fracture. That same method can be applied for Split. I'm not too sure about Brand Victress. This is honestly my first time casting for them. I have seen how they play. They are a team that thrives on gameplay, utility usage, as well as teamwork. So not very different to SMG, but I would say SMG is a little bit more bold. But for Brand Victress, they're very patient in taking their time. But once they really, really want to pop off, they can, and it's absolutely terrifying when they do.
Yeah, I mean, with the new roster, I mean, when they came in as Bren Victress, there were a little bit of changes to the roster, but they've become so consistent in terms of the plays and the performance that they've been showing. With Mikasi in the picture, Mikasi is one of the leaders that make you comfortable within the arena, as mentioned by Zinni. She's actually very funny and allowing that environment for openness and open communication with your teammates makes it really feel good, even if you had encountered a loss. You just really want to get back up from it, and that type of leadership is contagious. That boils down and trickles down to the rest of the team members, and that's maybe the reason why Alexia has been popping off. Zinni has been this amazing support. She mentioned that she wanted to really cover the flanks. She wants to play back a little bit. And because of this, she delivers the clutches as well for the team.
I mean, when you look at the players in terms of their locations, this is an all Filipino team. Bren Victress,
Yeah.
I mean. So there is that buff when you play with your friends together. It's just knowing that they're right there beside you to share those moments and not just in voice comms. They are going to be there to calm you down in person. So there is possibly a little bit of an advantage to that emotionally. But
Yeah.
as opposed to SMG, we have some players who are in Singapore, some of them are in Thailand. I'm not too sure if they're together or not, but hopefully at least some of them who are in different areas can be playing together who are in the same country. But looking at the agent lineup here, Kohaibi on Ray's classic, and we've seen how she plays this area. I have a feeling it's going to be a very similar lineup to what we've seen this morning. And of course, this is SMG's second round on this map. So I would say that they have that momentum still going from this morning. They are all warmed up. But this is where it gets a bit tricky because obviously Bren Victress would have seen their match. And probably I'm just a bit like saying like,
Choose your
oh,
agent.
perhaps they already kind of read their strat. They have a counter strat ready. But who knows?
Yeah, and who knows in terms of what will happen, because at least for both of the duelists, we one time I mentioned to Quack that the people that would go head to head would be Mikasi and Kohaibi. And true enough, it was so close that both of the teams picked the same, no, sorry, both of the teams picked the same agent, and it was a similar scoreline for both. So I would expect that from Mikasi as well. And even as a Neon, maybe, as you mentioned, they're all Filipinos, and selecting that agent is going to be a Filipino buff for them.
Ooh, I like that.
right?
I really like that. But also, the addition of that neon pick is great. Lurking map, or not just lurking, but even just flanking. that speed is gonna give you so much value when it comes to just taking flanks. Your timing will be so good, and you would already be choked from so many different angles. I do not doubt that's what we're gonna expect from Red Esports. The question is, can SMG counter that?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of countering the aggression, I think they bode well when it comes to that because they're aggressive themselves. So it's basically just assessing how would I play this map, and basically if you have that sync, you understand how your opponents will move. But as the Neon, I think she has more in store when it comes to unpredictability because of the relay bolts and also the overdrive. She can just or her high gear, she can just really swoop in and get the kill. Because I remember this round before that Mikasi played that she did not just really stop at her own pace. She had the frenzy and she just went ham in this site. So probably with the same playstyle as you mentioned, both SMG and Bren Victress, they're so strong as a team. They have open communication. Their playstyle is basically the same. They take advantage of the flanks. They do the pincer strategy as well, but it all just really is about who starts on defending first, who creates the space, and who will win most of the rounds in the first half. Because I feel like it's gonna be hard, especially what we saw earlier for SMG. It was a big lead for them
Yeah.
against Sovereign, and Sovereign did not really have the chance to really assess and adapt throughout the whole of the map to try and counter Envious and Go Hybe when it comes to the pushes.
I think
But I wouldn't really say the same for Bren Victress because as I mentioned, they have two leaders in the team. Zinni is a great IGL, and if you also have a shot caller like Mikasi, then basically, I mean, all ends will meet in their favor.
I think in a lot of situations here, as we mentioned before, as Fracture, not a lot of teams, I mean, teams are starting to adapt to Fracture, but not many have really had the time to truly, take their time to really learn how to play the map or just get used to it in general. And some teams, like say Paper X, SMG, are those teams that will use this map to their advantage, knowing that they have the upper hand when it comes to it. As for Brent Victress, from what I heard, they are not a stranger to this map. As much as SMG wants to use it as a trump card, it's a double-edged sword because we know that Ben Victress as well likes to play as aggressive. If you look at agent lineup as well, it's almost similar. But Mikasi playing the aggressive play just goes forward, but Bixby punishes her for a kill for 2 for the price of 2 bullets from the headhunter.
Each bullet will convert, and the rest of SMG, they're just running towards the B site. There's a flank coming in for Ali and Shirazi, but they're so far away, and there's nothing that they can do to try and stop this flank. But what they can do is basically just make sure that they get the kills. But Fixky is gonna be ready for the kill. She's blinded, but she is able to convert to a kill. Envious is so low, so she has to be careful. She's the one in charge of ropes, and Byoki as well here with a double peek. They finished the round, and Pistol so quick in terms of the kills for Kphrodite at 2k. You mentioned 2 for 2.
Oh man, to say that was a classic SMG sort of moment that we saw from Bren from earlier. Like we'd see Go Hybe do that, but I like the fact that SMG already anticipated that. They sent 2 on this side, so she wasn't. Not only was she kind of like caught by surprise that there was 2 people there, it was hard for her to really pinpoint who exactly she wanted to go for. But Ali, she tried to get that equalizer. She did get a few, but it wasn't really able to, to really get that in the end, as SMG is a team that also, likes to play safely. But for now, the plant does come through. It's Ali quietly making her way toward ropes. Lexi will be the one on the lurk this time. Let's see if she can actually get some value from that headhunter. The area on the side of ropes actually had an aftershock just to kind of move them out of the way. Kphrodite aggressive sprays, gets 3! Okay, Kphrodite on fire. Here, but Vixky as well does get Zinni. There's still Ali to worry about. He really pushes up. And great reaction time to the utils is what we saw earlier. I don't think it's changing for SMG.
Yeah, a great response from Kfreddy to just spray them down. She didn't really know that there were 3, but she just sprayed. Once she saw the 3 heads, she just pushed forward. And a great reaction as well from Yoki for the stun against Ali there. Ali had nothing else that she can do. She even bought up the frenzy for that round just so they can secure some of the kills. But SMG, they did not give it to them. That's why it was a flawless round for them, and SMGs across the board against the Vandals and Phantoms of Team of Bren.
Oh my god.
Even in the ball, there is going to be the buy. Envious with a Spectre. Drive-by kill. What is happening? They get the conversion of the kills. Kawaibi even then captures 1. And Alexi, she's going to be waiting through the smoke.
You know where she is.
Behind this. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be the case for that. Kawaibi still delivers, throws in the paint shells to try and get her back up. Because Fixie is there at the very bottom waiting for her to jump. And that's kind of a suicide attempt. SMG, they get the guns.
Yeah, free upgrade. SMG playing this really well, but Envious, look at this aggression coming from Envious. We saw that last map. Clearly, there's a reason why this is their playground, their map. You know, like the back of their hands. There's that situation here where you think, okay, you might be at a disadvantage when you don't have the Vandals, the Phantom. But in a lot of situations, I think a lot of people really underestimate the Spectre, especially when you are able to gap close, like how SMG played it. That's the reason why they call SMG. They like to play up close and personal, and it really works out in their favor.
Yep, and at least at this point, Bren Victress timeout during the save. I'm not too sure if this was well timed, but they definitely need a little bit of a break from the aggression of SMG. They have to really pick up the pace. They have to define this as well, even if they're defenders, because they have all the agents that they need. Alexi as the chamber with the intention to really flank together with the team, and Ali as a solid anchor. I'm not really seeing that much use of the utilities from them just yet, so maybe that's what they're working out during this timeout. Mikasi, however, does use the high gear a lot to try and breeze through the map. But, I mean, apart from just the use of the utilities, it has to be converted. And look at this, the use of utility for SMG. Smokes come in, and that's the reason why they take the site.
This is so fast. Look at the corner she played in. They didn't even realize that she was there. Yuki does get 1, get 2 actually. Wallbangs Alexi. Yuki very aware Shirazi would play there. Goes in through the door. She clears out A main instead. For now, not too. I don't think that she knows she's up there. But Envious, this is a corner she likes to play in. There is a crossfire coming through. Not too sure if they does get spot out here, which is gonna be Ali. All she needs is just 1 shot to the head. Shirazi with the Marshall. If they do peek, it may just spell doom. Ali big jumps forward, tries to bait it for her teammate. Not quite happening just yet. Hotline comes through, and yes, outguns Shirazi. 1 more person to worry about. It's gonna be Alexi, that little corner with the smoke. Very nicely done, and SMG cleans up house. 4 rounds in their favor.
This is looking like a little bit of a challenge for Bren Victress, because SMG, they're coming from all directions. Envious has her own path. Kohaibi has her own path, and all together they meet in the middle. Basically, okay, this is basically a meetup. Once we're ready, let's get to the bottom of the site and get it over with. And at this point, even Bren Victress, they're overwhelmed by the utilities that Yoki has been throwing at them, because Yoki got an aftershock kill. There's nowhere to run, because if you even dodge that shock, there's still Envious waiting for you to move and get the kill. And at this point, Bren Victress, now that they have the buys, they need to be more confident about this. I mean, we've seen Alexi is no stranger to aggression. Even Shirazi as the Brimstone, she's like a solid rock for the team. But there's already a flank, but I'm not really sure.
She doesn't realize!
If they know!
She doesn't realize!
Attacker spawn.
Even gets the third one. Sitting in that corner, very, very cheeky of you. But Vixty strikes back with a kill. But she's all alone. She has the orbital strike. She has all of the smokes to work with. But Lexi says, nope, no more. At least we get one round out of this to stop your momentum.
You gotta give it to Vixty. She didn't utilize any of those smokes because she knew that she might not get any value out of it. It might as well she brings it to the next round. I have to say, this change of pace from SMG did not work out in their favor. That speed they did over and over again was the one that gave them so much value. We didn't see a change in pace from the side of Bren. They were still doing the same thing, but that's that change in speed where you saw that SMG tried to cut the noise there gave an advantage to Bren Victress, where suddenly they're the one being choked the other side. For now, Bren Victress, Mikasi with the up. Is she gonna get one? No, quite. Vixty gets her first, and that's the power of the double peek there. Could have been a call out, but it's not gonna be happening as Zinni does find Kiferdite. Vixty does find Zinni in return, so it is a fair trade. Regardless, it is a 3-on-4. And now, Bren Victress, not enough bodies, but still able to anchor on the site. Ali as well. She is pretty much prepped and ready. She is waiting just for someone to pop out. Envious and Kohaibi, you know how much space they can take in a short amount of time. Ellie, they do spot her out. Immediately gonna just flush her out the other side there with the fault line. Not quite getting that damage onto it. Ali does get concussed as well, but look at that swing catches Yoki off guard. Lexi waiting in the smoke. I am very, very dangerous, she says, but also there is also an orbital strike just to clear them out as Kohaibi does find Lexi in the end. Shirazi waiting. Puts out the smokes. She can actually get some value out of it if she's able to. At least that's for drop side. But on top of side and under, there is still one each. Shirazi, she can just kind of try and get the isolation out, but these corners that are covered from so many different players is going to be a problem. She does get flashed out here. 50 from the side just sprays through. All she does is just kind of go off her teammates' communication.
Yeah, I mean, what she did was she pushed a little forward off of the smoke, and then she just sprayed. She wanted not to be seen by her opponent. That's why she went back to the smoke, but she just really figured out this spray will work, and she gets the kill. And that's what's great about SMG. The timing, they don't really force the spike plant. Even with the orbital strike from Shirazi, it didn't phase the team SMG. They wanted to play a little bit back. Okay, there's a strike, but I'll move out of it and move it in yet again to really create the objective. But objective of Alexi now is to take the first blood, and she does with a tour de force.
That's big.
She only has a classic for a secondary weapon, but I mean, she doesn't really need it. She has a tour de force ready. As long as she doesn't miss, SMG might fall down to their cracks.
This is gonna be a big problem for SMG. Without Yoki, no flashes, no aftershocks, no fault lines. You kind of need that just to keep them in check as they move through. Look at how fast they're running through! Envious! A little bit risky. Peeking like that, Kifuragi. Drop here. Just take the site. They did not realize that she is coming in from the other side. Those smokes give them some space here. The snake bite flushes them out. Kohaibi throws out the satchel just to give some space to them. But you do hear the overdrive coming online, but Kohaibi still managed to stop her from doing that. 24 HP doesn't matter because Kohaibi got 2. Laying inside the smokes here, you are going to be seeing the toxic orb as well. Move forward! But Vixty was just ready for her as SMG finds that equilibrium to take back the round, not allowing Bren Victress that momentum to move forward.
There is a reason why SMG chose this map, and a reason why their 100% win rate, at least for Open 4. They show so much of themselves that they're aggressive, we're disciplined. And even when it comes down to the duels, they know when to fight and when to fall back. And they practically memorize this map. This is wall bangable. This is also, once I push through the door, there's gonna be timing. I know where to look. And Envious, with a flash that comes in, she doesn't really stop at all. She's just dodges, and she's pushing through together.
She's on fire today. Look at her speed coming through. She already gets 2. how aggressive she is, just clearing the entirety of the site. Doesn't realize on the other side there is Alexi. Just catches her off guard, but she already got the value she wanted from the Blade Storm.
And right now it's down to Alexi and Ali. She spots out one, TP's away, safety. Vixky does a little bit of damage, but I mean, it doesn't really convert to a kill just yet. Incendiary is there for the post plant, but Ali yet again with the frenzy. Will this do wonders for them? Alexi has already crept up towards the site, but the plant is open, and they throw in the incendiary just to try and slow down the defuse. But Alexi, it's a possible ace for her.
Oh my god!
The molly doesn't really need bullets. Just throw in the utility and chef's kiss from Vixky.
They were running out of time. They had to tank that. They had no choice. It was such a smart move playing from there. Let's have a look at that again. Like, see how Envious is just so quick at clearing out the site. She just comes up, takes up space, clears out the entirety. It does not allow Alexi to reposition. Even then, Alexi did try to kind of equalize the situation. By the time they want to defuse, they were just so low. The Molly was already easily taking them out of the way, but you are going to be hearing the Viper's Pit move forward. Aftershock as well, just to buy some time. Unfortunately, Mikasi not getting that value from that shot. You do hear the showstopper. You see so much chaos as the Rolling Thunder comes through as well. Mikasi, Alice, and Shirazi just get one each, but Kohabi will trade out for Shirazi in return. Kohabi solo, 30 HP, and then Alexi has to give that space to her. Kohabi still not scared. Low HP, no problem, as Zinni playing in from low, so it's still 3-on-3, but those shots coming in through, both of them are in this area, coming in through door. Ellie as well, gonna meet with a teammate. Crouching through a long here, clearing out the areas. Snakebite does come through just to flush them out from the area. K4Daiji just does a drive-by there onto Alexi. Molly just to buy some time. K4Daiji from the side here. She is prepped and ready. One peek is all she needs. More shots come through. Is more warning just to buy some time. But look at how many angles they have ready. And K4Daiji as well as Vixky shut it down. But not before there is a trade from Ali.
I mean, the timing of the incendiaries of Vixky is incredible. The moment that she throws it in, the rest of the members of Bren V, you can't really pass. Because it's gonna hurt. I mean, they've learned their lesson from the previous round. Both of them died to the incendiary. That's why they had to wait it out. But when the time has come for them to push out, there were trades because they were already set up for the crossfire. And SMG is so good at buying time in this map. They know their positions, they know how to use their utility so well, and that's why Bren Victress, they attempt to push out, they attempt to establish dominance, but dominance is shut down there by K4Daiji and Vixky, who assumed that both of the members of Bren Victress will push out.
Yoki is ready. Oh my god, timing! They just barely missed each other here. Yoki moving up. What? I think they know that there is someone there, but in order to protect the teammate, Yoki comes up forward. There is going to be a trade up there, but for now, Yoki still managed to get Shirazi. It's going to be Alexi as well inside of there. Has to give the space as she does get flashed. Still waiting here. Might be able to get something, but that Molly on the other side, I don't think it was actually intended. Or there's Alexi still managed to get that, but K4Daiji stops her in the end. Bit unfortunate about that that Molly placement.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunate, but still, I mean, another time for the great use of utility there. And even dodging the utility, like, here you go, Yoki gets one, and they really wanted to stop Alexi, because, you know, Alexi, she has that multi-kill potential, she has the clutch genes as well, so just really pushing and pulling out that that flashpoint just delayed everything else. It's just really great for SMG to find out. I feel like they really know how Bren Victress would play this out.
Oh my god,
and when it comes to the blind and orbital strike, she can't really see anything. While she can hear, she doesn't know where to go. Envious takes down Zinni. And she realized, oh no! Mikasi was ready for that jump, and Fixkey is just waiting here, and Alexi as well. They're not pushing through just yet. It's gonna be a stun, and Aphrodite from behind. Fixkey was just bait. And Shirazi's left all alone again. She walks through the door. It's gonna be her who knocks. She gets the double. She's Heisenberg at this point, but there's no time. There's nothing left for her to do.
Can at least get some data. But it's not fortunate for her. So Ivy was waiting. I have to say,
Last round
Envious.
in the half.
regardless of what agent she plays, Smoke Criminal should be in her name somewhere. Envious the Smoke Criminal, perhaps? Look how she plays this. She played inside of the Brimstone Smoke, and then she played underneath of the Cloudburst. Only she got stopped there just because she does not realize that someone jumped out. There was just so much chaos. The footsteps probably got masked. I have to say, though, that Shirazi, even though she was alone, she got some value out of it. She got 2 picks before she went down. Not necessarily the best of situations, but in a way, they did have to rebuy in the next round.
Yep, and Shirazi at least gets the first one. Envious is down, and this might be a big opportunity for Bren Victress to turn the tides. But here's just waiting. He hears all of the utility. She hears that there's a boombot there. That's why she stays still, but the timing!
Oh
My gosh,
not
big
realize.
What? But at least Ali
enemy
gets the
remaining.
first shot to
Spike
the head.
down, B.
Alexi as well with the tour de force. She's out hunting for more. They don't know that Kohaibi is just waiting in that corner. If once they get Lace Mikasi with the overdrive, get them the flawless round, but the
Switching
lead
sides.
is so strong for SMG.
This is exactly what they need. They went so many rounds without a win. This is definitely the biggest moral boost, especially since it was a flawless. Gotta say that the change in how they were playing is just so great for Bren Victress that it's a little bit too late, but better late than never. But this also comes down to they only have 3 rounds in terms of margin of error to catch up. I wouldn't be surprised if we might be seeing a rotate perhaps or a sweep on the other side. We have seen it happen before. And in my opinion, after seeing the performance from SMG earlier, SMG on attack was not as dominant as SMG on defense. But this kind of changed.
Yeah. It's a different change of pace. Probably Sovereign have figured out how the attacks of Team SMG was. SMG definitely stronger on the defense earlier on, and even when it comes to the stats, they have more wins in the defensive rounds that they have. So this is looking a bit dwindling for the side of Bren Victress, but it's not over until it's over. There's still a chance for them to strike back because their composition, it was also built for the aggression with the breach into play, with the neon as well. So this gives them a lot of the room to take the space away from SMG. The question really is, will SMG give it to them? Because we all know what their setup is going to be like. A breach, a raise, and a jet all together there in A, and then they let the 2 anchors cover B. So basically, B is impenetrable, and A, you would really have to watch out for the 3 members of SMG. So if and when they break that barrier, Bren Victress can be able to win out some rounds. But as you mentioned, they have little room for error because the small mistakes that they will make will create a big impact and maybe cost them this loss.
A lot of times, it's just timing where you see some small situations that's not like a misplaced molly cost Yoke her life. They want it, but they still lost 1 player. So this kind of like micro plays are also very, very vital in these situations. Timings as well. You look away at the wrong time, at the wrong session, could also mean death for you and a big disadvantage to your team as they lose out on some utility. Regardless, SMG is on fire. It changed earlier from how they played this morning as well as they start to adapt more and more. This is, as I said before, not their first rodeo on this map today. So Bren Victress, they still have time to equalize. They have, as I said before, 3 rounds of error. If they can actually take a few rounds, kind of stop this momentum from SMG, this might go in their favor because SMG, I've noticed so many times as I casted their matches, they're a team that really thrive of heat, of momentum. If you don't give them that, they will not be able to really close out the game. But for this time around though, I think SMG is having a much better time in closing their matches. A lot more decisive compared to before. Mikasi so fast! Oh, is just gonna be caught out by Yoki as she was trying to throw out the concuss. Fixie from the side here. She knows someone's gonna be there. The smoke as well as the pain shells are just gonna have to force them back. And look at Zini. She is so very low as the other members as well did take some damage. Ellie eating some of those bullets here. Yuki from the side gonna flash it immediately, just sprays out, does not connect, but more damage onto them. Yoki does find Ellie in and gets away, and Yoki gets free already. Envious as well onto Zinni, and it's all Lexi alone. She does have the clutch potential playing behind the box here as she does try to find a way to at least get some kills, just get that some value out of that in the form of credits to bring over. She has one headhunter bullet left. She has to, and she whiffs that, unfortunately. 27 HP, teleports back. She is gonna try to at least get that headshot with the ghost jumps forward. But this is what's great about SMG. That's 4K for Yoki, by the way. But they're not afraid to say, I'm gonna jump out, get her distracted, and you're gonna shoot her.
Yeah, that was so cute, and like an agent just jumping around and then timing a double peek out of that situation. But Yoki here, the way that she managed to get Greetings dancing around the and an anchor and a breach with the timing of that flash. That's her stronghold, right? She's a good anchor. But I mean, it's not really necessary that we see a breach as an anchor, but she does it well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's looking so good for her. And meanwhile, Kfredite does not connect the shot. Has to reposition, switches out to the headhunter. Kfredite, we know that her one taps is scary. Jump peeks forward, gets some information. Not too sure if she probably did see someone's arm there. But this is a very slow rotation coming through, but Fixie already on their tails as Lexi does get one with the headhunter. Kfredite does trade it out with Shirazi. Teleports away. But he does get one. Fixie as well from the backside, not allowing the flank to go on further. Still 2 for 2. A very equal situation here. But Alexia and Ali did take substantial amount of damage. Yoki from the side here because she sprayed out, not quite. The flash out here as they make some space. Just to give that timing doesn't really matter when you have teammates on your side as the aftershock will isolate them. In the end, sprays out here is Mikasi through the flash. But he is waiting. She does trade it out. That's the beauty of an SMG. The sprays are just a little bit better when it comes to DPS. But Yoki is so very low. There's still Lexi coming in, did not realize that Envious was on top of the site. Mikasi, it's all down to her. 44 HP, less than half. She can at least try and pick here. Yoki with 6 HP. She spots her out. She is running out of time. She's running straight for the site. There is the Cloudburst as well. Look at the concuss. She is in a position where she can't move forward. 3 seconds to go. She has to get that spike. But Envious was already there.
She just really wanted to go away. Like Yoki wanted to secure the win. Okay, I'll handle this. Yoki, just play back because she doesn't really have time. And that must feel good, right? Yoki almost died. She was so low. But, sorry, that was Fixie I meant. But the amount of teamwork Kfredite just offered for the team to save her friend, to save the call for help, really. I mean, that's just so good. I mean, if I were that person, I would just say, thank you so much for saving my life.
Yeah, that's the situation.
But then but that's the beauty of the team player.
That's always the situation because they want to make sure that everyone is there. They do respect the enemy enough to make sure that they have more, even though it's just one person, they want to make sure they have strength in numbers, and the more the better. And in this situation here, I have to say, you know, just now I think the call was, she's won, and it's so frustrating. You almost get the kill and don't do it. Let's look at that Fixie It's not the one to get that sprays out. So Alexi's straight tap to get in Zini. Oh, beautiful use of the flash. But you are going to be seeing Keferdai get Mikasi as well. Getting onto the side is going to be very, very hard without your duelists. And right now, Lexi is the one who's getting Keferdai. That's the usage of the utils once again. Plant is going to be coming through here. There's only Kohaibi and Yoki. They can band together to use their utils and kind of make sure that the other team is at a disadvantage. But they are 2 members down compared to them. Aftershock was there just to kind of flash them out of the way. Fault line as well. Shirazi not giving up that space as she plays. That crossfire is just so good! But Yoki still manages to get one. But Ali will stop it from coming. Kohaibi, she doesn't really have the information. She knows that there is one on site and one inside of tower. They don't know that Shirazi is there. And on top of that, as time goes by, there is going to be a tough screen again. But Shirazi and her teammate with that crossfire, it's hard to really pick them off.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I really understood why Kohaibi wanted to just stay put there and get the kills. Because if Bren loses more heads, they lose the guns that they will use for this round. And that would be a big advantage for SMG for the next round. But unfortunately for her, she didn't really find the timing in terms of the peaks. Every time she would look to the left, Zinni just passed her. Every time she would look to where the nest is, there was just going to be a jump peak. So at least now the team of Bren Victress, they have the guns they need, but I think it's not going to be enough for them because they bought up one Spectre. They don't really have enough to push out for another buy. But at least SMG is going to be on a save, but there's still a match point. Little room for error.
Oh my god!
But Aphrodite already captures 2 in her scope with a tour de force. The force is strong with her, but Alexi strikes back with a 282 HP damage taken, but Kohaibi does not budge. She wants this fight. Her blue bot opens the door, but she's trying to figure out where she is. But Alexi as well with her own tour de force. Will she catch Kohaibi in this corner? She's left all alone, but she has the firepower against the team of SMG. The advantage for the ladies, for Kohaibi, Fixki, and Keferdai are higher though, because they can just play like a team, like they always do, and that's the strength in numbers. Firepower versus strength of numbers. Who do you think will prevail?
Most likely might be a surprise attack. I don't think Fisky is aware that Alexi is coming from this side. Not too sure. Yep, she does not know. As a 3k in the pocket there for Alexi. Might be able to do that. Not quite. As point 13 comes through for SMG. And round number 1 goes to SMG. 13-3. What a dominating performance. I think this is the hunger we saw from SMG in the previous opens.
Definitely. I mean, Alexi had so much pressure in that last round. She had to overcome 2 more after the first kill. Fixki wasn't really fixing her eyes on the right place. That's why Alexi was able to take the kill. But immediate response there from the chamber of SMG to take down her mirror match. But there's a reason why SMG picked this map. I would say it over and over again. They're dominating. Their utilities and timing so stellar, and that's the reason why they got 13-3. Bren only got 3 points. There weren't even any rounds that were notable to me that the rounds were close. It's always SMG surviving with 2 or 3 people, and they might have lost a couple of rounds and they were forced to a save. But even in that save round, the last round was a thrifty.
It really was.
And that's SMG. A run and gun, and even when it comes to the close corners, they just really figured out where Bren Victress were, even during Bren Victress defense.
Yeah, so in essence, I think a lot of the situations for this map in general is just SMG's understanding of the map, how they play it. This is their playground. But as we go into map number 2, this is where I think Bren Victress may just be popping off. We might just be going to a map 3, as I mentioned before. For some reason, just because of how SMG played this morning, I was already projecting map 1 to go to SMG just because of that understanding of how they play together in this map. And on top of that, I just have to say, this map can be used by them to really stump a lot of the other teams just because they were the first to really get that understanding of the map. It just catches everyone off guard. But after this, what map are we seeing?
It's gonna be split for the next one, but both of the teams, they've outperformed each other in a couple of opens. Sometimes it's gonna be SMG with the lead, and sometimes it's gonna be Bren Victress showing how utilities can be used. And maybe this is their time to shine. But that will be game number 2 for this series. So don't go away, we will be right back.
Oh, sorry about that. I think we
We will be right back with the replay.
we have a replay. We have a replay going on. So let's have a look at it again. So as we mentioned earlier, what SMG is how they played this. SMG, just a team that is just so confident on this map. They know their abilities. They really know how far they can take it. A team that's not afraid to walk these tightropes. Envious, again, playing very aggressive corners. Those corners that you don't expect to check. And this is where SMG really thrives. Because they know how to play these corners, it gives them such a big advantage over the other team. And as you mentioned before, you even said that they know which wall is wall bangable or not. And a lot of situations here, we saw Kohaibi as well as Kifrodite get those really big picks. I would say that Bren Victress didn't play this map right. It was more of just the speed coming in from SMG. It's not allowing them to act properly. And in a lot of situations, those picks coming through from SMG and them coming onto site is something that is just something they really like. They'll bring the fight to you. We didn't really see default coming in from Bren Victress in general just because they didn't get the chance to. Because by the time, even though they played it slow, you are going to be already seeing a flank come forward. We did see Bren Victress do that once, but suddenly SMG immediately responded to it in the next round.
They have absolutely mastered the map of Fracture. It didn't leave Bren Victress with anything to work with. Anywhere that they hid, even it was a close corner, they were being cheeky. I mean, there was always a utility for any position that Bren Victress would hold. It's going to be the aftershocks from Yoki, the paint shells from Kohaibi, and that's the best answer. And as I mentioned before, it's going to be map number 2, selected by Bren Victress. Will we see them get ahead and become the victors of this map? Well, of course, you have to wait and see because game 2 will be right back.
captures SMG's playground, and they really proved it, taking a dominating map 1 away from Bren Victress. We're going to game number 2 now, where we head over to Split. I'm Tash, putting alongside Donut. We're a caster today for the VCT Game Changers APAC, and this is Open for day number 3.
We're very excited to see now Bren Victress in their own playground, because Split is something that they would usually pick to try and gain that advantage, whether it be the first map or the decider. We see them really create the strat plays when it comes to Mikasi's raise, and as well as the rest of the team members' own roles. Alexi here is the flex. She was a chamber earlier, but in this map, she usually plays an initiator. She is that KO for the team, but I'm quite excited to see a little bit of a change up, because we haven't really seen a fade selection just yet. And we've seen a lot of fade plays in the map of Split, wherein there are some utilities that you can't really shoot out. And also that's out of your vision, so you would really have to look up in order to destroy the haunt, right? And then you being a fade main yourself, you mentioned that. I think that's a great agent to be selected in this map of Split, but I'm not really sure if they want to risk it out or they want to play for their own comfort, because this is going to be do or die for them. If they lose, it's going to be another 2-0 for today.
It depends on the player themselves, whether or not how much of the agent have they mastered. But as you mentioned before, if it's better to go for something that you have mastered rather than another agent that you don't really know how to get value out of. Regardless, this is going to be a very interesting map, because for Split, we all know it's very defender heavy. But throughout trends that we've seen, Split is more of a map where mid control is necessary. You get mid control, you get access to B heaven, you get access to the ropes on vents, and you have also access to A heaven as well. That's a big part of the map. This map is not huge. It's actually really small, very almost similar to what Fracture is, but in a lot of situations here, we've seen teams like Paper X perhaps play every round as attack, where they just kind of flank, they get those lurks, and they just catch people off guard. Speed can be important as you take a site, but it's also more important for you to clear out so many of those nooks and crannies. We've seen situations just now where we saw a turtle shell coming in from, I believe, one of the members from Bren, and they didn't even realize that she was there, as she managed to get 3k in her pocket. So the question is now, what exactly is SMG gonna do? SMG this time envious. I would love to see her play on a jet just for the speed, but we all know how much I love seeing her Omen, so let's go! And of course, we're seeing K4Deity on Killjoy, and I really think that as a Killjoy on this map, it's absolutely great. There's so many lineups you can do just by putting your nano swarms on top of Haven,
Select
whether
your
it be
agent.
A or B. You can even do it in vents, you can do it on the entrance side of B or even A. It's just such a flexible map for Killjoy. This is literally a Killjoy playground. Yoki on the again on the breach, she has been phenomenal, and Fixki as well. I would like to say that for this map, Sage is absolutely you get a lot of value out of Sage. Well, on the other side as well, if you're seeing like it's almost a mirror pick between
It is.
Bren as well.
It is.
So what can you tell me about what Bren is bringing to the table?
Well, it's a similar selection of agents. It's the Sage, it's the Breach, a Killjoy, an Omen, and a choice of their own Chef's Kiss Duelist, which is the Raze. And I think now it's gonna be all about, number one, the selection of the sides. I think SMG has a little bit of an advantage because they're starting out on the defense, and Bren Victress, they have to pick up the pace because it's quite hard for them if you roll out a couple of rounds in terms of attack. Even if you get to a 6-6, it's easier to defend in the map of Split. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just being objective about it. Because of how close the corners are, it's hard to really get into the sites, especially if you're going against a Killjoy who also has mastery of the map. It's not just about the same placements of the alarm bot, of the swarm grenades, but if you get a little bit too creative with your usage of utility, then it's hard to really get past all of those. So I guess there's a reason why they selected this, because this agent composition is the most effective for them. It just is also secondly a about who draws the first blood, because you mentioned mid is very, very important for them to control. So whoever is killed in mid first, basically that's already either a hole in the defense or even a weakness in terms of the attack of Brent Victress. So I think it can go both ways, but we'll have to see in terms of who wins the pistol round, because basically the momentum starts there. And also the very important third round. Will it be a turnaround or will it be a 2-1? I guess that's about it.
I mean, when you put it that way, yeah, but at the same time, SMG picked defense. And in a lot of situations, defense does have a little bit of a higher win rate compared to attack on this map. So if SMG is a team that really thrives off heat, off momentum, this could be a very big thing for them because they can just steamroll forward. But so long as Bren Victress is able to take 4 or 5 rounds points away from SMG, when they move forward, it's going to be a little bit forgiving to them. If they're not able to get more, it's going to be a lot of pressure onto them as they don't have a lot of margin of error as they move forward. It is still a mirror match here. End of the day, we all talk about player mastery, agent mastery, who outplays who, and depending on whose strat is better, and here we go, immediately onto mid here, is the idea what Bren wants to do. Okay, for Aphrodite, we haven't really seen a setup. I mean, she does have one, but she didn't put everything out. So she's just really taking her time. I really like this wall coming in from Fixkey. A little bit deep means it's a little bit easier to just kind of to throw out those utils, put some damage into them. Really, that wall is coming up. She's not going to be standing on top there. She doesn't want to risk getting shot early. But just because she heard the boom bot, immediately that reaction comes through. Looks like they're going to be setting their eyes on ropes. It's going to be vents here. Millie runs forward. That spray probably heard onto heaven as Kohibi is pretty much ready. Here comes the fault line as well, just to kind of give Mikasi that breathing space, but that's not going to happen as Kohibi's paint shells does put in the damage. But Shirazi as well as Yoki will be trading it out. Zini, a little bit of an upgrade here as they immediately take so much control of heaven. Yoki, the only one on site, gets splashed out here. They want to clear the back of site. That's going to be screens. For now, Ellie is going to be having her sights onto ropes as SMG is going to be rotating. Yoki moving back a little bit just to give some space to that aftershock. Just waiting for the teammates. Some damage just comes through. Aphrodite straight to Mikasi's face, but Ali finds Yoki in range. Aphrodite does get 2, but she had to reload. Unfortunately, as Lexi does take her down. It is Fixkey and Alexi still up. Fixkey and Envious still up here. There is the paranoia as well. They did not follow up with that, but Envious still gets the head onto Ali. And for now, jump shot on jump shot doesn't work out here, but Envious does stop them. Round 1 going to SMG.
I love the movement from Fixkey there because she knew that there were ghosts flying around. It would be harder to really track the opponent. So the jumping classic El Clasico, as you would really put into words, it was something of an advantage for them. Unfortunately, there was a kill, but an immediate trade for the side of SMG, showing to them that the pistol round is theirs and probably the next one, because they'll be able to buy up for this round. Full SMGs for Team SMG, while the Victresses of Bren, they're just gonna be buying out of Sheriff and the Frenzy for Alexi.
Slow's not allowing Envious to push out. They do know that she likes playing that way. For now, mid, Fixkey already spotted out immediately. Gonna wall up here. She does give some space at least just to try and get some picks from the top side here, but they're very aware. Fault line comes through. She's breaking the wall. They are just gonna wait for now. But look at how disciplined SMG is. They're just taking their time because you don't really know which side of the map they're gonna go through, especially if you give up the space. Fixkey, prepped and ready. It's a very narrow corner coming in through their entrance. Technically, it's the reason why you want to make it a little bit bigger is so that you don't get funneled. But look at this smoke coming through. It's very deep inside. It's hard to push through as well. As you go out, it gives you all the vision you need. Shirazi coming in from mid didn't really get the value out of that. And now their entrance to B already smoked out. They have to buy some time. They have to make sure that it's okay. We'll play it patient. We do still have some time here. Don't want to push out into an area where we don't have any information. Mikasi waiting there just to throw out. They know that Envious is in the backside here. Immediately gives some space there. Paranoia comes through. They just get one, get two, not quite two actually. Because Kohibi is there to help. Kohibi also two each for them as Fixie picks them off one by one. They try to take two different areas, but the defense coming in from SMG has been solid without going too aggressive.
Agree, it was rock solid. Envious didn't move a muscle even though paint shells were thrown her way. She knew she had the upper hand because she had the paranoia. So once she whips that out, she was ready to get the kills, and she was also assisted by Kohibi timing for her to also save the day. Although she was taken down, still she picks up the sheriff against Bren Victress's Vandals and Phantoms. I'm pretty sure there will still be some kills delivered by SMG, not unless Bren Victress, they want to keep this flawless for them so that at least their economy will be healthy going into the 4th round. Cassie tries her best to destroy the walls, to stop any barrier for them to push through the site. But at the moment, they play a little bit back.
Ellie making sure that no one's flanking from the backside. Puts up a turret immediately. Almost picks out Fixie here. Now the wall is up. Now does not allow her access into heaven. That's a lot of control this time round. More, I would say, more decisive has come through, but the Envious does get Alexi straight in the head. Still waiting for time here. Does get one, and she got for two, not quite. Still good enough. That's a big conversion just for a sheriff. Regardless, they still have to bide some time. Fixie already on site here. I don't know if she knows anyone is inside mail, though it doesn't. Ali picks her off here. Kohibi run forward, not quite enough to do anything. As this time, Bren Victress is going to be a 1 versus 1. Immediately going to do an aftershock here just to get some space through. But Shirazi is very aware where Aoki is. Regardless of that, I wouldn't say this was a definite win because everyone lost their rifles except for Shirazi. Now moving into round number 4, we're only seeing 2 rifles and the rest of Bren Victress is on a deficit.
Definitely a win for Envious here. Just using a sheriff, but getting 2 headshots. Great conversions, you mentioned. This is a win for them. There's only 1 rifle left for them, which is Shirazi's. And the rest of the members there, I mean, 3 Spectres for Ali, Mikasi, and Zinni. They have to make the most out of this. It has to be precise for Bren Victress for them to make it an equal score of 2-2. But at the moment, Envious really knows her way around this map. The one-way smoke stops anybody else from taking the orb because their feet are seen through that one-way smoke. Shirazi tries her best. She gets tagged. It's the opposite. Fixie spots her up first, and the wall thrown in invested makes the Spectres lose some of the bullets.
Cassie does get tagged by the Roomba as well. Saw Kohibi as well as Fixie on heaven this time, which means that SMG is reacting to what Bren has been doing for the past 3 rounds. They know that they like coming in through mid. It doesn't matter whether it's going to be through ropes going to A or even on B side here. Ali does eat a little bit of damage from that. But it doesn't really matter as Fixie will be taken out, but not before Ali is going to trade that out. In return, does not realize that there was going to be someone there. Oh my god, Envious. Already 3 in her pocket. Ali as well. 2
30 seconds
players
left.
looking for control. It's Envious. If you look at her, 2 HP left compared to Ali's 98. Also, Aphrodite is around. They're still just waiting, biding for time here, waiting for that plant to come through. They can swing out if they want to. They do have that information here. 10 seconds to go. She does clear out the entirety side of garage here. Look at how they're just creeping forward. Aphrodite, you're as silent as a mouse.
And then the mouse gets the cheese. They get 3-1 now, even with Bren Victress's attempt to get the kills with the SMGs that they bought up. Stellar performance there for Ali, because she was the last person standing. She even picked up a rifle along the way, but Envious's performance as the anchor of the site, and you mentioned she can be aggressive, she can be disciplined, and the discipline paid off for her to convert. And looking at the score, she already has 9 kills.
This is
just by anchoring the B site.
I'm so proud of her. Oh man, but coming back to that match just now, I have to, as you mentioned, that discipline. like how Envious plays. She sees someone, she doesn't immediately attack. She waits. She tries and sees how many people she can get pickoffs first. And that's honestly the conversion coming through. Regardless, fault line does come through to Shirazi just to buy some time. Yoki did eat some damage onto that. There's also a slow orb as well. You can see that Roomba kind of explode on the side there. But for now, their A site is where they want to hit. They already had control of ramps. They already have control of ropes here. Lexi coming in from mid. Flashes out here, immediately walls out will be Fixie. They want to break some, they want to try and break the wall just to at least make some noise so that no one is rotating too fast onto the site. They still have no idea that the spike is going to a but Aphrodite! What happened
Spike
there?
down A.
She got 3 out of that. Ivy from the back still spots out Ellie. Smoke criminal, no you don't, she says.
Yeah, she is watching over that tower from below. She sees everybody else and everything was wallbang kills. There was just one that wasn't, and it was a headshot, but I would want to see how she was able to really look through that window and get the kills. And we mentioned Envious being the anchor of the B site. It's okay if they cover A, because if she doesn't cover A, because she have Aphrodite just waiting for the members of Bren Victress to come in. Oh, and it was like customer service, right? Okay, next customer please. Q1, Q2, Q3, and now she got all of it. She got all of the kills.
Aphrodite from this morning, I believe it was, her sprays have been on point today. Give her any rifle, give her your SMG. She can take 3 out at once. She is not scared. And in terms of her kills, she has had so many that her lockdown is already online. Envious already has her ultimate as well. Ali as well, she does have the lockdown, but in a situation where the lockdown is not taken care of, it can be not a great situation to be in when it's destroyed, or if they have the enemies kind of push up and not really kind of clear out sight like you want to. For now, Bren Victress, they had some time to just reconvene, figure out how exactly they want to play this time around, and I'm really curious to see how exactly they're going to play. Fast is the name of the game this time around. Immediately runs up onto Haven. This is a very dominant push, but that slow orb is going to cut that off, and as well as smokes as well, not giving them that space. And now, if you want to see a pincer play come in from vents, it is going to be possible, as Yoki already picked off one. Fixly, she's playing a very scary corner here, but she is very comforted by the idea that she's inside a smoke. As the smoke goes away, she immediately backs off because she doesn't want to get picked out. So for now, as the utils are all used, immediately rolling thunder forward here, Fixly has to give up the space, teleports onto the site just to clear off the area of ramps. And suddenly, Bren Victress, they have full control of B side. But the question is, how about the retakes? Because SMG is still very happy with 5. There's 2 people inside of Garage, and they sent 2 people there. Alexi moves out away, and we do see the lockdown coming through. Immediately, they are going to be throwing that aftershock as well. Alexi pushing forward, has to buy some time. Shirazi did pick up Gohaibi in return. NPS is just waiting in the back here, but not before Zini stops her from going crazy. 5 HP left for Shirazi, and also Zini very much alive here. Shirazi Pixki just trying to get that peek out here as they move forward. Gonna use those utils. Aphrodite is gonna go for the stick. That aftershock as well is gonna just try to catch them off guard, but not gonna happen as Pixki is ready. And I have to say, this utility usage from SMG, they hold it until the end for the post plant. They can't even come close.
Yeah, I mean, Yoki is the breach master. I mean, the use of the aftershock, because she knows that one will peek out, just in case somebody would be holding that corner. And then the follow through of the fault line, that's what converts and lets Fixki get all of the kills. It made the team of Bren a little bit helpless. They couldn't really see. Even if they could see, they were dazed and they were confused as to why is an SMG defeating me at the moment, because it's the great support that Yoki is able to bring to the table.
This change in pace from Bren Victress is so different, but I'm surprised that SMG is able to react accordingly. No matter what pace you want to go, fast or slow, we're ready for you. But for now, even back of sight, K490 is ready. Yoki does get concussed, but it doesn't really matter. Moving forward, timing is important, but K490 and Yoki get one each. Kasi from the backside here does get tapped onto the head. It'll be Yoki. Has to reposition. We do have sight here. K490 just waiting for the other members.
planted.
They are still very healthy. They have a +1 in terms of numbers. K490 is smoked out. Vixky coming in to help out K490 as she's a little bit low. Like Lexi, she's trying to go for that tap if possible, but you do hear the showstopper coming through from Hybe. Still gets one. Lexi look at his return, but Hybe is ready. But not before Shirazi gets 3. And I have to say, that's a little bit too close for comfort. That's still a thrifty round, and this is exactly what Bren Victress needs.
Great delivery there from Shirazi to take down 2. The From the Shadows investment not really put into waste because she was able to take down 2 in the process. Even Yoki plus K490 anchorship, very well, but the composure from Bren Victress because Shirazi just picked up that gun. And the gun that was picked up delivered another win for the Victress. And at this point, they're showing up, they're coming on online. The question is though, is consistency going to be seen as they take on B?
Yes, he does have a showstopper, just waiting for her to satchel out, maybe take some space. But Envious is still very much on the site. Envious not seeing anyone push in. She will get the space regardless, but this is where she moves up there. Does not pop the showstopper just yet. Waiting for a better time. Sprays through. Envious doesn't even hit her. And now look at how much utility is used onto her. She has to give the space. The plan does come through. Envious still very, very patient. That wall may just have saved her life. But now here comes the showstopper. Does not connect. Immediately she goes straight up to Heaven. Lexi is still waiting on the other side. Wants to catch anyone on Heaven off guard. Lexi is waiting. K490 jumps up again. They still get caught out here. One by one, the picks are gonna happen. And this patience game is working out so well for Bren Victress. But I'm worried. I don't want it to be the situation where the reason why they win, the condition is Ali having the lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, they were able to get in towards the site because of Ali's lockdown and the amount of space Mikasi was able to control just by really expending and spending all of her utilities towards CT just because of one person. It was envious that they wanted out of their way. The wall did work well for the side of Vixky to try and control Alexi's flank, but
Right
as I mentioned, at least delivery of consistency for the 2 rounds. SMG, will they be able to react as well? Because this is probably their last buy. If they lose, this is gonna be quite a very challenging economy now for SMG. That's why Envia still wants to keep this space for herself, uses the one way to figure out. At least there was a little bit of damage brought on to Alexi. Envious, after the stun was there, she goes back, repositions herself to her favorite spot here.
This is her corner, Envious corner. For now, Haven, we're not seeing that wall coming through this time around. Just so they can get some information, not get cut off as before. Vixky has to move away, give that space. Mikasi already on the site here. But SMG wants to play reactively, but Mikasi is just too quick. Lexi does get one as well. The slow orb will not allow them onto the site. Aftershock as well used in turn. It's a great combination of utils just to get that chip damage in at least. Maybe convert to a kill if they want to. But for now, you do hear the boombot come through. You have the information that someone is going to be there. K490, she does get splashed out here. She doesn't know there's someone on the side. Her booty does get spotted out, but finally, Ali does catch her out in return. Kohabi does find one, but not before Mikasi finds Vixky. Kohabi 10 HP still gets one, but Mikasi still gets her in the end. Was that a satchel or is it paint shells? I believe it was paint shells. I have to say,
It was a satchel, actually.
Wow! And look at that, Bren Victress. They got 3 rounds in a row, and that's an attack. They already are equalizing the score here. And suddenly, it's all falling apart for SMG. They have to figure out what exactly they need to change here in terms of how they play defense. Because if, say, they move into the attack round without at least a lead, it's gonna be harder for them to get some more points.
those were download rounds. The losses that Bren Victress was able to get. Download rounds for them to try and figure out how their opponents are playing. But Yoki responds with a kill of a sheriff. She backs away, 59 HP, so that she's ready to strike with all of her utilities. With Ali yet again, still pushing forward. That's why Figsky gets her. The rest of the members of SMG, although one has fallen, ready is the resurrection for Figsky. And Alexi, so quick on her feet, picks up a kill against Envious. And now they all rotate. You guys are fast rotators, we are as well. So that's why we get the B site. We take control. The wall is up, and Kohaibi has no choice but to go towards CT. So this will allow Bren Victress for a safe plant, but that is just safe for now.
Cover going out.
Pixie does have revive. I don't think she wants to use it this round because it's technically a safe round. They do only have one rifle. It's better for them to just really save it for the next round where they have a lot more resources to just go forward. Yoki does get Mikasi with the aftershock here. Shirazi, as well as the other members when we play from the other side. There is that Roll of Thunder coming through, but no follow-ups as well. Zini playing this very dangerous corner. They don't know she's there, but now they do. Misty does get her out of the way. They are gonna get that wall out, but for now it doesn't really matter because Alexi has her gun trained. And for now it's 5-5. That lead, it doesn't mean anything when Bren Victress is the one who chose the map.
They're on a roll right now. 4 straight rounds for Bren Victress. They know their map so well. It was just that in the first few rounds, they were trying to capture how is SMG playing this map. And after a few calculations, now we're at a 5-5. And Bren Victress really showing Team SMG that this is also their playground. We can get the lead from you if we really try. And I think they're not trying so hard. They have really captured how SMG has been defending. They know that it's going to be the breach and the killjoy there in A, while Envious is the anchor of the B side. But what they don't know is Envious already pushing up. They're in B lobby, so I don't really know if Ali's gonna know that she's here with an off angle. She puts out the turret, but I don't really think it will see Envious at this point. She just really wants to make sure that nobody pushes up.
Honestly, Envious really likes to play this game. She just goes forward, gets those picks. Doesn't really matter if she goes down. Regardless, this is where suddenly they're playing it real slow. One got spotted out by the turret, but immediately Kiferdite just swings out that way. Thanks to her teammate moves up, they doesn't realize that someone is playing the corner. Zini already with 2. Kiferdite had 3. Regardless, she's gonna try and farm some orbs here. If she does get 2 more, she can get a revive out. 7 bullets in her arsenal. She is being very crafty coming onto the site. Zini will plant. Ali playing the ropes here. Look at the crossfire coming in. Pixie was ready for that. They have full control of Haven. But onto the site here for screens. Zini is ready. This is a nice off angle and will actually just buy some time, but no follow-up to the paranoia. And is just waiting, but Kaibi is ready. That off angle giving that value to her. 3k in the pocket, running back and forth. Envious still manages to take it away by the skin of her teeth. Looking real good for them, as finally they take back a round after what, losing 3 to 4 rounds?
Yeah, 4 rounds in particular. Bren Victress are on a roll, but they didn't really expect now. The team play evident for that round, given that Fixkey and Kohaibi wanted to take control of Heaven. There was a little bit of a punch. That's why they gazed their eyes towards Heaven, where Ali was just waiting for them. And Aphrodite does deliver the 3k, but still, I mean, in terms of Fixkey's flick there, it gave them that advantage. While Zinni was able to at least take down 1, that wasn't enough. There were no bodies near her for a resurrection, and Fixkey was already behind her, so she had nothing else to do for that round. They take the lead back, but it's just 1 point. As I mentioned before, if it's a 66, it can still go anybody's way. It depends on how you play the map.
Bomb grenade out.
A little bit worried, because we know that in terms of defense, Bren Victress' defense has been pretty good. We've seen from previous matches before. I really hope that SMG is able to at least get more points coming through, because this is a little bit too close for comfort, especially as you did have the advantage in terms of taking defense first. Mikasi again, she wants control of ramps. Pretty sure they did spot her out there. Roomba as well coming through, does know that someone is playing this close angle. Mikasi ready, just clear it out, throws out the paint shells as well. Suddenly look at how much damage comes through. You'll get 70 HP, but catches Ali a bit rotation here. I'm gonna send a flash out as she actually comes down there just to check that no one's there. Wall bangs through. Mikasi comes through. Ooh, timing. Very important here as King Aphrodite takes out one. Zini already with two immediately with the revive as Envious is not allowing her to come back from that. For now, space coming from Envious, not quite able to get anything out of that. As Shirazi takes her out, Yoki, only person alive here. Smokes up heaven. They do know where she is. 6-5. Bren Victress wants to make sure that as they go into the second half, they are on equal footing. Shirazi, so many different angles here, but Alexi a little bit better, making sure that Yoki doesn't come in through ramps.
Yeah, they want to make sure they keep it an equal fit for them, but Bren Victress, in terms of the defense here in Split, they are momentum based in terms of their defense. It just is all about the retake. So sometimes how they play this map is they want to take the hold. They don't want to let anybody in, but if it gets overwhelming, they opt for the retake. So it just really is about the use of the utility for them. But Alexi showing up so well during the attacking rounds is something that they really have to take control of. Even when it comes down to Alexi's utilities, I haven't really seen it come into a conversion rate for them. It's always going to be Mikasi's entry, throwing in the paint shells, allowing the space for Fixkey to really not be taken. I think at this point though, Fixkey did show up, but the walls that she's keeping up in B Heaven has been predictable for Bren Victress. That's why if you don't want to let us in B Heaven, we're just going to take control of ramps and go to A Heaven instead. And once this happened, that allowed them a couple of rounds on a roll for them. So that was 4 actually. That's why they were able to take at least the 6-6.
You have to give it to Bren Victress as well. In a lot of situations there, despite the wall coming through, you saw a change in how Fixkey used her walls, is because you had at least one or two members of Bren Victress just wait underneath the wall, wait for it to break, and then just come running straight through. And it happened twice. In that situation, Fixkey was like, okay, we cannot use this wall anymore because it's just catching us off guard. They're using it against us. And I love that SMG did take a lot of rounds in a row. But Bren Victress, there's a reason why they like this map. It takes them, I think maybe it takes a while for them to figure out how exactly each round goes for SMG, but in terms of adaptability, it did come through from Bren Victress. That's why where we start to see them just straight up go steamrolling, and we didn't see a change in how it was played by SMG. So now as we move into attack side, yes, SMG, they do have the firepower to come through. But the reason why it's so hard to play as attack on Split is because of how narrow the entrances are, and how you want to just really take hold of the site is through mid. So like it or not, you're gonna have to separate yourself from your teammates and cover a large area from either main or even through mid. It's a lot of places to look out for, but I think with this equal footing that Bren Victress has done going in as attack, we may be seeing them sort of steamrolling it on defense, but I'm wondering how SMG will be able to stop that from happening. SMG is a team that I believe is very flexible, but against a team like Bren Victress, I think they have to be much more reactive.
I mean, in terms of Bren Victress's defense, they're so much stronger. They have a higher win rate in these defensive rounds. So I would really have to guess it's all about how SMG is able to take control, because I think the default play of smoking out vents as early as now is something that they don't really want to do. They want to make sure that they push through instead and overwhelm Mikasi. She hears all of the footsteps. Now she places back, and Zinni is just waiting here, using her wall and tucking herself in the safe corner. But she hasn't really heard anybody else just yet. You want to make sure that the rest of the members of SMG, they make noise up a heaven before they push forward. This has been the strategy of SMG, and I think Bren Victress, they know what's up, they know what's coming.
Yeah, Melee taking two sewers is what they want to go for, but Keferdite, they didn't realize that she was still there. There was going to be a pick there. Keferdite does not realize that Ali was there as well. It's a pick on pick. And this is very low, but look at that. Look how many they picked off there on Haven. It was a massacre. So now it's only Yoki to worry about. And with the frenzy, it's going to make it real good and real easy. And this is where the hesitation comes in from SMG.
Yeah, and almost flawless also for the team of Bren Victress. The rest of the members of Bren, they didn't even get that much damage. So they're going to be saving those armors that they were able to pick up. And looking at how they are positioned in the map, they close in and they use the team power that they have, the team play of just being together. And I mean, at that point, Keferdite was able to take down one, but still they did not expect Ali to be positioned there as the anchor. You would really know that the Killjoy would be on site, but that was just not really a great read there for SMG. Now they're forced to use all of these classics for the push.
Not necessarily
and
a bad thing, I
their
believe.
smokes aren't really in their favor, so they're scrambling around mid at the moment, not really knowing where to go.
Hybe, she wants to get this space. Nearly takes up heaven. But look at that. Already throwing paint shells down. Yoki coming onto the backside there. Not too sure if she does know and really knows that there is someone there. They want to make it as expensive as possible. There is going to get one each. Ali as well. It's a massacre in the spawn. Oh my word.
Bren Victress, they show up during the defense. But now it's time for SMG to shine. As I mentioned before, they were scrambling to take space, but they did not know which direction they should go. They did not react immediately after they got the first kill. And once there was that alarm, the rest of the team members of Bren Victress, as you mentioned, it was a massacre for them. The question really is, will they be able to keep this? Because at least Mikasi is gonna use the frenzy. She's gonna be here trying to control mid. Slow orb thrown out, but a flash in response for Yoki. And a wall as well.
Bring the fright to them, but Envious gets two. Now before Zinni gets go Hybe. There's one big pick there. One Julius less to deal with, as now they lose the person they need to take space onto site. And we have 60 HP left. They're not sure if they realize that Mikasi is playing here. It is a wall bangable area here, but they're gonna check it regardless. It's Envious 3k in the pocket, getting a lot of value from those vandals. For now, Shirazi coming in from mid side here, trying to go for the flank. But they already have sight, and A is where they're going to be hitting. As the other members of Bren Victress, Shirazi, Ali, they're very, very far away, but they can synchronize their timings. But Ali really breaks the turret. I don't know why I got excited there. For some reason, I thought it was a person. But regardless,
The turret looked
looked like
Keferdite for a moment.
Yeah, I thought it was Keferdite there. But speaking of Keferdite, Shirazi does find her Yoki. Gonna put stop to that. There is still one more person. It's gonna be Ali, but look at that. The aftershock comes through. Ali turns around, finds someone else to take down in return. Switch out the guns. And for now, here that new Neptune skin. It's a gun that has really good sound, but I don't think Ali is gonna hear anything. As Envious gets 4k for that round. I would say that it doesn't necessarily mean good because they lost so many people that round. They only still have, I think they only ended up with 2 rifles at the end. So we're gonna see only 3 rifles left for SMG.
Yeah, and it was because of this push here by Bren. They were able to take down one, but in the process as well, it was Ali to take down another head from SMG. At the moment, it was an open plant just because Keferdite was they already figured out that Bren Victress would like to rotate as early as possible to control the situation. That's why Kifrodite was able to just say, okay, you can plant here. It's open. I already checked that out. And that's why 2 sentinels for Bren has been directed to defend these sites. So no one passes through. No flank from Kifrodite this time. But for the side of Bren Victress, they're already pushing up B. They know that nobody's here. And even Mikasi with the jiggling, they know that probably mid has been compromised, but they don't know exactly how many people have pushed up. So that's why rotation for Mikasi is well and done for. But they just have to wait. SMG, the quiet play. They need to take one down in order for them to get the site. But I think Bren Victress just really gave it away.
Swarm grenade out.
Look at how much utilities already used, just give them space onto site. But Bren Victress, they haven't really used up their utilities just yet.
30
Just
seconds
waiting,
left.
just waiting for after, honestly. Ellie,
Spike planted.
she has an idea that Rapixki does fight Zinni, and just throwing out the paranoia. Look at how many shots are coming her way. None of them connect. But for now, Mikasi pushing forward. That's gonna be the fault line. But Ivy was ready. It's gonna trade on trade. Fixki, 3 in her pocket. Only person to worry about is Ali. They do see her eventually as Kifrodite gets 1 tap to the head. And that's the beauty of a Guardian.
That's a great recovery from Team SMG. How they were able to just pick up the pace. I just did not understand why Bren Victress had to give it away, because the rotations have already been invested for Mikasi at that point, right? So if they fought for the site, could it have been a different scenario altogether? They just really played back. And that's the case for Team SMG. Their post plants have been getting better and better, and it has become more impenetrable. We saw that in the map of Fracture. Every time there would be a spike plant, SMG, they immediately go to their preferable positions and then take down the members of Bren Victress one by one. And this is the same case. If you let SMG plant the spike, immediately they would take these cheesy angles like what Envious did. And Kohaibi was there to save her because she was stunned. And they invested 3 people up ramps. That's not a normal post plant, but SMG does it anyway. And Bren Victress, they didn't see it coming.
So for now, Bren Victress, they're in a situation where they are. How do I see this? How do I say this again? Bren Victress is in a situation is that they are trying to make sure that they can take as many rounds as possible on defense. But they also don't want to give that momentum to SMG. They are a team that thrives off that, and they are very, very aware. Ellie coming up onto heaven. Trying to pick off one by one. He was completely empty, honestly, but for now, Lexi. Here comes the fault line, comes through. And for now, Flash as well. Slow orb comes through, and Envious. Oh my god, I feel so bad for Lexi. It was a util on util. Misty has to use the wall just to give them some space to get onto the site. For now, Yuki on the side, gonna flash. Here's on the backside, gets 1 escape from the 2, not quite. Envious gets 1 more as well. Fixate Keferdite. This is a win for them. Very, very clean.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, Team SMG, 3 straight rounds yet again against the team of Bren Victress. Even though Bren got the pistol round and also they're forced by SMG, they take it away at the moment. So at least the lead taken back by SMG means that Bren Victress, they have to work harder. Because if SMG play this to their momentum, Bren Victress will really have a hard time. Because we all know that each and every one of Team SMG, they work well with the momentum, they work well with the heat, and they strike while the iron is hot. And Kohaibi, hot on the showstopper, doesn't really connect, but it allows them the space to take the A site. At the moment, Envious has just pushed up. The boombot has been destroyed, and this is gonna be a bait and switch. Envious pushes through, and
One enemy
Yoki Kohaimi delivers, and he's gonna be there for the trade, but there's nothing else that Ali can do. A double peek from Team SMG just means Bren Victress can be helpless for that round.
SMG, regardless of its attack or defense, they figured it out. But we all know that Bren Victress can take their time. Not take their time, but they can eventually adjust. Matter of the question is, how long or how many rounds will it take before they finally make it here? I have to say, look at that round here and how dominating it was. They came in from so many different angles. This is where it gets interesting because their idea of play is wait for the rotations to come through. We'll cover so many different angles, it just catches them off guard. Look at that wall here! But Alexi does find K for Daddy, but Fixky does get two. The revive will be happening as well. It was a good effort, I have to say, because she was all the way back there. They were hoping they were going to get that 2 angle, and it does actually come through. And she was like, it's fine. We'll hold on to it like this. I have the revive. Don't worry too much about it. Envious already up ramps here, just trying to get some picks. She is playing the turtle shell method. If say Yoki does flash out here, Shirazi is not aware. They're just buying that time. Shirazi and Envious trade 1 for 1, Envious for 2, but Mikaze gets Envious straight for the head. Kifrodite is waiting. They're still trying to go for heaven here. Catches her off guard. SMG on attack round. I have to say, in the first few rounds, it always seems so good. And I'm hoping this keeps on for them because how they've been playing this aggressive sort of play has been looking so good in how they decide to take sides, how they decide to play even on defense.
But when it comes down to the defense though, Bren Victress, they seem to be taking these positions that give away so much of themselves, and that's why SMG takes the opportune moment to get the kills. And at this point, if they play a little bit defensively, SMG knows how to take. If they play a little bit back, SMG will know which utilities they have to invest to take control of the site. But the other way around is if Bren Victress pushes forward, I mean, Kohaimi, Fixky, and the rest of the team members are always going to be ready for that. And that's what I don't understand. I can't seem to comprehend how SMG is able to manage these rounds so well, how quick they are to make these decisions. Because at the end of the day, the reason why they get this lead, a snowball of a lead, is because they're playing it slow, and then when they're ready to strike, they do it well.
Oh my god, look at all these utilities!
Exchange of rolling thunders. All of them jump through, but at least the lockdown was destroyed by Team SMG. Actually, both of the utilities destroyed each other's lockdown. So
it's a very interesting
exchange
situation.
of lockdowns, exchange of aftershocks, exchange of rolling thunders. Since it's going to be a mirror match, we expect this to happen. But Mikaze, showstopper, will it connect? She doesn't know that somebody's behind her, but she still gets the kill.
Oh, Envious!
However, is Envious ready? And Kohaimi to deliver the 3K of what was expected of her, and SMG take match point.
They are very aware of which ultimates are there. And I think, I'm not too sure, I'm just guessing here. My deduction is that Envious tucked herself down there so that she doesn't get caught out if say that the showstopper does come through. But this was pretty much a massacre because it's a trade on a trade on a trade. It was also a trade of utilities. SMG is on fire, and you can tell that at any point they want to take as much space as possible, as many points as they can. They don't mind using the utilities. They really are very decisive when it comes to utility usage and it comes to taking up space. Look at this. Kohaimi immediately finds Ali at the back of the site. That's how confident she is when she's coming up. For now, Shirazi does eventually find Envious. They do know that she might be playing there. Shirazi gets 2, Shirazi gets 3! It's going to be huge in terms of conversion here as she plays very sneaky. But Kohaimi has a showstopper of her own here immediately because he gets K for Dynasty straight in the head. not too sure if Kohabi got anything out of that. Zini, as well as a teammate, does eventually catch them off guard one by one. Starting off was really good for SMG, but Bren Victress this time, I believe that the slow and steady pacing instead of just quickly reacting to SMG has given them more value.
Yeah, and even Shirazi's peeks out. I mean, she was able to get one off guard once that smoke dissipates. Enemies wanted to be the sneaky omen there, but no, it was Shirazi.
She read her like a book.
Yeah, I mean, I would do that, so I know that Envious will also really take that weight, because I think in the past few rounds Envious has been pushing up CT and getting one kill and getting away with it because there will be a double peek together with Kohabi. Kohabi's the bait,
I'm honestly
and
curious.
they've already read the map at least, and that's why they're striking.
Ooh, not a good
It's gonna
place.
take a lot of damage.
He had to give up space there. But I'm curious to know if SMG that round was a little bit on overheat. Not a little bit too confident to be playing like that all alone without teammates so deep into the site. That's the reason why they got out one by one. But Zini takes up a lot of damage. I'm liking the change in SMG here. They don't want to give too much of a lead there. Immediately Kohabi will react to that flash. Somebody is smoke there as well. As for now, Bren Victress, they're just gonna say, okay, we already went aggressive. We took way too much damage. Let's just react and just wait for SMG and see where it goes. Ali still waiting. Kifrodite coming up. Just immediately spot out Ali with the Bulldog. Envious and Yoki get one each as well. Shirazi, she wants to play this very sneaky angle here. Avoids that. She gets two. Very beautifully done. And for now, it's equalized. It's still very doable. It's still a one-person deficit here. And Envious is very aggressive. She does get one, but Kifrodite will trade out. 13-2-9. SMG takes both maps 2-0.
Sheesh! My gosh, what was that round from SMG? Every time they will play it slow, figure out where the rest of the team members are. Because that strat, they're already at match point. They want to secure the rounds, and they played it so carefully, and they were so aware of where Bren Victress's positions will be. And every time, even Kifrodite getting that first draw of blood against Makasi, and it was a snowball of kills and deaths for Bren Victress. I just really wanted to figure out Bren Victress. They seemed so overwhelmed always when it comes to the full stack push of SMG, because they don't know where to look. Should I look at ramps? Should I look at vents? Is there already a flag from Kifrodite? And at that point, there was a little bit of pressure. And you can really notice that the last kill, at least for Zinni, she didn't really know where to look. And because of how overwhelming Team SMG is, and overwhelming is Envious at the very top with 23 kills and a KDA, a very healthy KDA of 2.1. Although I have to give it to Shirazi. She's the match MVP for this round. But unfortunately, the rest of the team members did fall short a little bit. Didn't really make it to the cut because they only won 9 rounds. And after SMG was on a roll, they really struck while the iron was hot.
I have to say, Shirazi, she tried to equalize a lot of the situations. Every time she plays very sneaky, she does get 2 to 3 picks. It gives so much value to the team. But the thing about SMG is that yes, you are going to get 2 picks. We are going to be finding other ways to equalize. We're still going to get picks of our own. Envious and Shirazi, I have to say, in terms of their omen plays, very, very on par, as we don't really see Shirazi as aggressive as Envious, but it is still enough to get those sneaky kills, especially as they try to take map control. But I have to say, throughout this entire match, map control just solely, a lot of the situations go to SMG just because of how aware they are. And like that similar situation as we saw on Fracture is mostly because they know how to navigate through the cracks and crevices. And SMG, while they did get caught out by those kind of sneaky plays, we saw from Zinni, we saw from Shirazi, but we saw them adapt every single round. We did see Bren Victress come online after a few rounds, but I feel like in terms of adaptability, SMG is just a little bit faster than Team Bren Victress. And as we look into this highlights here, Envious is a player who is not afraid, even as just a smoker. She's not afraid to take the fight to the front. And I think this is one of the qualities I really like seeing in her. Because as an Omen, most of the time we see more passive Omens playing with your teammates, but not Envious.
Yeah, but not envious. And as well as Shirazi delivering that as well. It was always going to be a case for this bloodbath here in CT, but Envious will always know how to respond. Her cheeky little plays, the amount of space that she takes, even without the smokes, she takes control. And Envious in this situation, she delivers. But just like her, it's actually also Shirazi. There were a lot of highlights coming from Shirazi here as well. So looking at this round, she was able to deliver 3. It's just like deathmatch for her. But then even after that, it did not really convert to a win because at the end of the day, it was SMG overwhelming Bren Victress in both of the maps of Fracture and Split.
I have to say that individually, all players are very, very skilled. There's not one player better than the other. It's also a mirror matchup. It all comes down to communication and teamwork. It just seems that SMG was just a little bit faster in not only dealing with how Bren Victress plays, but also in making sure that a lot of the teammates remain alive at the end of the round. But I have to say, this is one of the closer matches because we saw SMG move forward and then we saw a climb from Bren Victress. And even then, 13-9 is a pretty close match. In a lot of situations, though, we have to really give it to Bren Victress. But I have to say, even though it's not SMG's map pick, you have to really give them congratulations as they go 2-0. Speaking of that, SMG will be meeting up with Nigma Galaxy. This is also a very exciting match. And the winner for this one will be moving forward to face Alter Ego Celeste on the grand finals. And it's going to be a super exciting one. And it's just honestly been such a crazy open on this open 4. We saw new names, new talent come up, and this talent is not a talent pool where we saw like, okay, big names is going to be very skewed to their side. It wasn't really the case.
Yeah, and a lot of upsets that we've seen earlier, especially for match number 2. But this is the time that NGX will redeem themselves against the team SMG. SMG showed up today, getting a 2-0 against Bren Victress, the esteemed number 2 for Game Changers. But NGX, they have to take down SMG so that they can have a rematch against AE Celeste. Earlier on, Celeste just really proved that they're the queens.
AE
But
Celeste
I think
just-
there's a lot of pressure now for NGX to deliver against SMG, and at the same time for SMG to continue on with that 2-0 winning.
Yeah,
Because
they really want
did you
to.
know- yeah, I mean, did you know that for day number 1, SMG lost to Bren Victress?
Oh,
And now it's the other way around. The tables have turned in favor of SMG. So that was quite a turnout.
it really was. I have to say, SMG looks. I have to say, this is one of their better rounds. But at the same time, for Nigma Galaxy, this is a statement comeback. They only lost to AECL. After that, they won again. So we are seeing them going to have that one match tomorrow before they go into the grand finals, or if they make it or not, rather. And this is going to be a question for us because who will be coming up on top? This is a really, really exciting one. And I have to say, I'm so glad that I got to cast Open 4 because this is one of the closest and most competitive opens I've had this year.
Yeah, and I'm so glad to have witnessed all of these ladies fight for their life. As you mentioned, new names, new faces, new perspectives coming into open number 4. But as mentioned earlier on when we opened this whole match, we see a lot of plays from the new teams as well, and the upsets and the downfall is going to be another story because we will be moving forward with the opens, of course, tomorrow for the finals.
Yep, you'll be seeing the QQTs. That's how I say it. QQTs. It's gonna
Yes,
be
Q cuties.
yeah, it's gonna be Quack as well as Marky, and they're gonna be giving you some quality cast tomorrow. So do check them out. And I think that will be the end for us today. That was an insane run. So thank you so much to you guys who spent your Saturday with us. Don't forget to tune in Friday because we want to know who will be taking the final crown for Open 4. I'm Tash Bunny alongside Donut. We'll see you guys soon.
Spike down. One enemy remaining.
We wanna get it up, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, crunk in the club, with a get it crunk with a couple hundred thugs. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, yeah. Everybody round, everybody round, yeah. Know we get it. Everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, everybody round, yeah. Know we get it.
Attackers win.